Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back in the house. Today guys, I got a kind of a mixture of videos and Laserdiscs to show you. I've acquired a few things here lately. But yeah, it's a real mixture. It's a real mixture of some stuff here. And I guess I'll start it off with, it was recently the 4th of July, 2022, just a couple days ago. And on the 4th of July, I watched this movie because I had recently bought it back in probably March or April. This is the Blu-ray of Oliver Stone's 1989, in my opinion, classic. This is probably one of my favorite Oliver Stone movies. It's not a movie that's it's not always brought up as one of his, classic Oliver Stone movies. A lot of the other ones get mentioned all the time. But I think Tom Cruise is really good in it. And the movie I'm talking about is the Born on the 4th of July, a great movie based on a true story and a real man named Ron Kovac? Yeah, Ron Kovac. He's a real Vietnam veteran who gets paralyzed from the waist down, and it kind of shows his fight for veterans' rights and stuff. So it's a true story. Kind of goes up to about 1980, 79, when Ronald Reagan was running for president. That's about where it ends. But his story is really interesting, and I don't think it's over the top sometimes how Oliver Stone can do and stuff. And this was before he had kind of the shaky camera work, kind of look that he does and stuff. This is pretty much a straightforward Oliver Stone movie. I know not all his movies are like that, but anyways, the next movie I'm going to talk about is like that. But Born on the 4th of July, great movie, great dramatic movie, great performances throughout. Tom Cruise was actually pretty good before he went completely insane. But there you go, Born on the 4th of July. Now next up, when I ordered this through, I think, eBay, and sometimes eBay screws up, and it's basically the seller's fault. But I thought I was buying a Blu-ray edition of this, and when it arrived, it was a snapper case. So I finally wanted a copy of JFK, and I ended up getting a snapper case of it, a 2-disc director's cut. I wanted the Blu-ray of it. But yeah, JFK, great movie, came out in, 91, 92, it was a big hit. Kevin Costner, obviously is based on John F. Kennedy, the assassination, some of the conspiracy theories surrounding it, Jack Ruby, whole cast of characters involved in it, basically talking about the different versions and how this happened and stuff. And I think a lot of the fingers get pointed towards maybe the government did it, or the mob or somebody. But it's a great movie, kind of unfolds stuff. It was controversial when it came out. And everything, and I'm trying to think if it won anything, yeah, it was a big hit anyways. And this is the director's cut, which has about 17 minutes of extra footage put back in it and everything, so pretty cool. So maybe one day I'll get a different edition of it on Blu-ray, but for now I'll just stick with my snapper case DVD. I knew it couldn't have been too good to be true that the supposed Blu-ray was so cheap. So now it makes sense. But anyways, I watched it, and great movie. Controversial, blah blah blah, but JFK, really cool. Next up, I got a double feature Paramount set. I got a film by John Woo and a film by gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Brian De Palma, geez. So this is a double feature disc of Face Off and Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes, the Brian De Palma movie, is really good. Nicolas Cage is over the top as usual in this. It's really good. It's got a great cast of characters, kind of a cool movie. And Face Off is just kind of insane premise and stuff. But again, Nicolas Cage is in Face Off too. And just, I don't know, it's I think two of Nicolas Cage's best movies. I mean, I think one of my favorite movies of his is Leaving Las Vegas and Raising Arizona, stuff like that. But man, he's been in a lot of good movies. If you sit down and really think about it and had to write down 10 of your favorite Nicolas Cage movies, it'd be kind of hard to do to just get 10, because he really has done a lot of good movies, and he's done a lot of shitty movies too, but he does work a lot. So there you go. There's a double feature disc of good old Crazy Nick. Next up, this is a DVD edition of a horror movie, horror thriller type movie. We were talking about this on a live stream that I do with my friend John. We were doing one of our summer vision live streams about the movie Duel, and this got brought up in the comments that day. We were talking about it. Maybe if you're watching this, Dutch Film Buff or Carlos Eastwood for Life, or you guys might remember this conversation. But we started talking about the movie The Car, and it's kind of a movie that's kind of forgotten about a little bit. But it's like this family is kind of chased around by this demonic car and everything, and it's kind of similar to, say, Maximum Overdrive and Duel, being menaced by a piece of machinery, a car, an automobile vehicle. So yeah, The Car. So I wanted to stick that in there just to kind of bring it to attention. But yeah, it's a good movie to check out. This is a DVD. I think you can get this for peanuts on Amazon. But yeah, I think it's a great movie to check out. I'm not sure if it's available through any other companies like Arrow or anybody. I haven't really thought about it, but this is the DVD edition of it, and I think you should check it out, The Car. Next up, this was a movie that was recommended by Brian Sauer, who does Just the Discs live stream and YouTube channel. He also does a channel. He does a pod stream, the New Beverly Theater in Hollywood. That's a Quentin Tarantino's theater. They do a lot of talking about the movies that are going to be shown there monthly and stuff. Plus, they talk about other stuff with his partner. I always forget his partner's name. I'm sorry, Brian. But this was brought up as a recommendation, I think, by Brian. He recommended this. This is through the Warner Archive edition. This is a movie called Mike's Murder, and it stars the lovely Deborah Winger. I mean, she was really beautiful back in the day. And this movie came out in 1984, and is directed by James Bridges. And it's got a cool cast. It's got Paul Winfield, Daryl Larson, Mark Keelan, and pretty interesting movie. I had never heard of it, and it's a really good story. It's Deborah Winger's kind of a young girl out in California. She's like started dating this guy who's a tennis instructor. They're kind of on again, off again. They don't really know much about each other, but she kind of reconnects with him after some months and stuff. And by then he's being this guy that known as Mike was a kind of a small-time drug dealer, just not big time at all, just enough to pay rent and stuff. And basically he ruffled the feathers of some bigger drug dealers, and they basically he pissed them off pretty bad, so they basically murdered him. And she starts kind of unraveling this mystery about him, and about how he got murdered, and talking to some of his friends and acquaintances and stuff. And it's a really good drama. It's really good, and some really good performances in it. Deborah Winger is really good in it, and I'm really glad I discovered it. It's something I probably would have never tried if Brian didn't recommend it. So thanks a lot, Brian. So Mike's Murder. And finally, for the DVDs and Blu-rays, I recently did a 20th Century Fox Cinema Classics collection. The DVDs with really nice slipcases that 20th Century Fox put out in the mid-2000s. Well, I came across another one by accident. I was actually looking for the Blu-ray of this movie, and I ended up getting this really nice Cinema Classics Collection edition of it, with a really nice slipcase and stuff. It's in really good condition. But this is a movie called Von Ryan's Express, starring Frank Sinatra and Trevor Howard. This is directed by Mark Robson. This is a really cool World War II movie, basically escaping from a prison camp and then trying to get out of Europe, or out of, was it Germany or France? I'm trying to think of where they were. But anyways, it's a really good movie. This is a really beautiful, actually, DVD set. Nice slipcase, and it's got kind of a matte, rough, kind of a matte feel to it. Really cool. And actually, Spencer over at the channel Damn Full Idealistic Crusader, that's his channel. Spencer, he recommended this movie, and I had heard about it before, but I'd never owned a copy of it. I may have seen it on TV, but I couldn't remember. But I'm glad he recommended that, because I checked it out, and it's really good. Frank Sinatra has been very underrated as an actor throughout his career. Everyone knows he's one of the greatest singers of all time, but his acting abilities haven't been, he's done some pretty crappy roles, but he's done some really good roles, and I think he's really good in this role. And it's a really good World War II movie. Really good. Von Ryan's Express. And finally, guys, I picked up recently a couple of laser discs through Hollywood Laser. There's a really nice woman that runs it, Maxine. You can maybe chat with her or stuff through the Laserdisc Forever Facebook page. It's a group that I belong to, and she sells laser discs. She has a good business. She knows a lot about laser discs, has all kinds of merchandise and stuff. So I bought a couple of laser discs through there. She was running a quick little sale, and I picked up a movie that I've always been one of my favorites since I was a kid. And this is an older release. I think this is the 1983 release of this 1981 movie on Warner Home Video. This is Arthur, and it's always been one of my favorite movies. Loved it as a kid. Loved the soundtrack, and Dudley Moore is just great in it. Liza Minnelli's really good in it. So there you go. I thought I'd pick that up. Arthur. Now, Arthur 2 wasn't that great, but Arthur 1 really good. And finally, guys, last thing I want to show you here. This is the second Laserdisc I picked up. This is through MGM UA. This came out in, I believe, 1991 is when they released this Laserdisc. This is a movie directed by John Frankenheimer that came out in 1965, I believe. 65 or 66. Really cool movie. And I haven't never watched it all the way through, but it's got a great cast. Movie I'm talking about is Grand Prix. It's a kind of based on Le Mans racing in Europe. Around the same time, Steve McQueen did his movie about Le Mans racing, just called Le Mans. I have that on Laserdisc too. But this one stars James Garner, and it's really good. It's got a great cast. I mean, listen to the cast. It's got Eva Marie Saint. It's got Yves Montand, Toshiro Mifune. It's got Antonio Sabato, Claude Dolphin. I mean, it's got a lot of cool people in it. John Frankenheimer. Music by Maurice Jarre. So it's a great action-packed release, drama and everything. So yeah, it's got a lot of good things going for it. So I'm gonna spin it up in the Laserdisc player here real soon and have a good evening with it. So there you go, Grand Prix. So there you go, guys. That's everything to show you in this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments, let me know what you think about these titles I showed you tonight. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell, the notification bell, so you're notified when I release a new video. So until next time, guys, watch good movies, take it easy, and I will see you guys later.